Hi, everybody. Good morning. Can everybody hear me? Hi. Yay, here we go. Awesome. I'm Amy. I'm here. I work with Photo Jojo, and I'm here in the Photo Jojo headquarters. And I have one of the Sony QX smart lenses. I'm really excited to have it here and to share it with you guys. We're really excited to start pre-orders for it. It's a really cool piece of technology, and we're going to talk about how it works, and I'm going to answer all of your questions about it today. So first, I've paired it up with my iPad here so I can kind of show it off to you guys. Ah, it's really real. Outstanding. That's right. So to talk a little bit about this particular model, the one I have here is the QX10. This is the lower end model, I guess. This one starts at 250. It's 18 megapixels, so it's super high resolution. Um, it's got a 10x optical zoom, which is super awesome because that's like, oh my gosh, it's like way better than your cell phone camera. It's amazing. So it's got a super zoom, amazing optics. It's got a super depth of field. It's actually got an aperture of 3.3. So the photographers out there will understand that that means that you're going to have a really beautiful depth of field in bokeh, which means that you're going to achieve like a really cool portraits and really shallow depth, and it's just going to look beautiful. Beyond that, obviously, the amazing factor is being able to shoot on your phone. So you have the pro quality of your camera. So you're shooting on this fancy camera, but it's ending up on your iPad here. So obviously, you're shooting on your high quality device, but you're editing on your favorite device, which is your phone, and it's the one that you always have on you. This thing is like super small, you guys, so it's really easy to carry everywhere. Um, it works independent of your phone, so you can get like really cool angles, stuff like that. It's generally really awesome. So some of the differences, just to do like a general recap before we like dive into everybody's questions. Um, the QX100 is the higher end model. We're carrying both of them. The QX100 is like really awesome. I know I've said awesome about like 5 times already, but it needs to be said. The QX100 has a wealth of manual controls, so the photographers out there will super really appreciate it. Um, you can control the aperture manually, and you actually have a 1.8 aperture. So you have crazy good depth of field. You're going to get really good depth of field for portraits and for really just beautiful bokeh. So let's just dive right in. And I have a partner in crime here at Naomi. She's really awesome, and so she's going to be funneling me some questions, and we're just going to roll with it and see what happens. So I also can see here the feed that's coming in with everybody's questions. So just bear with me as I kind of read everybody's questions and Naomi feeds me questions, and yeah, we'll just keep going. So Naomi, is there anything really interesting happening?
So on Twitter, Eduardo Muses asked, how big are the files that the camera takes, the picture files? Can you adjust that on the actual lens?
Oh yeah, that's a really good question actually. So the QX10 that I have here is 18 megapixels. The QX100 is 20 megapixels, and you can actually control the resolution in the camera settings. And so when we're talking about resolution, that's actually brings up a good subject because the files can be stored in camera. So there's a memory card in the little camera here, but they can also be stored on your device. So that's pretty cool because you basically have double storage and you can share between the two, and you can have copies on both. You can shoot independently, so if your battery dies here, you could just go and shoot blind. Yeah, so if you're running out of storage on your phone and you want to bump down the resolution, you can totally do that. But the resolution is pretty high, so I would totally recommend taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a good question, Naomi.
I'm gonna go see if people have more questions.
Yes, Twitter has some good ones coming. Oh, somebody says the sound is weird, so I hope that's not a continuing problem. Yay, there's so many of you here. That's awesome. Cool. So I see some people talking about different phone types. So I just want to clear that up, that it definitely works with all kinds of devices, which is really also awesome. So it works with Android phones. The app is available in the Google Play Store. So it'll work with any Android phone or Android tablet that's running the Android platform. It'll also work with any iOS device. So if you have an older iPhone, if you have a current iPhone, if you have an iPod Touch, if you have an iPad, it'll work with all of those devices. It'll obviously work with any Sony phones. The really neat thing is that Sony's coming out with some phones where this will mount on directly to the phone really securely. So that'll be really fun to see. Sony's also going to probably, hopefully, come out with some fitted cases to mount on. So we'll see what that looks like in the future. But yeah, it's compatible with a multitude of devices. So iPhone C, iPhone 5, iPhone 5S, all of them. How big are the files? Android, definitely yes. iPad, yes. Video. So video, it definitely does video in full 1080p, high def video. There are a few small limitations to video. I would say they're pretty minor. The only limitation really is that the video files don't automatically transfer to your phone. So when you're recording actively, the files will stay on the device and they won't transfer to your actual phone or tablet or whatever you're shooting. That being said, when you're recording the video, you will still see a live view and you'll still be able to see what you're recording on your phone. So it's just like shooting a regular video. It just means that when it comes to playback, you'll have to download the video in order to see it. So hopefully that's a future feature that's coming. Let's ask Sony. Autofocus, like Sony Alpha. Yes, it's definitely autofocus. It has a few autofocus features, like a built-in autofocus. It also has tap to focus built into the apps. So if you're using an iPad or tablet or on your phone, you can tap to focus just like you would on the regular app. So we have another Twitter question, which is a good one. Ray on Twitter asked us, is there a shutter button on the lens itself? So this is also a good question. Obviously, when you're in the process of shooting, it's pretty important to uh, know what you're taking a picture of and also have it convenient to actually physically snap the photo. So when you're in the act of shooting, there's a few ways you can do that. Um, so first of all, there's actually a button, a physical button on the lens itself. So there's a few buttons on the lens. One's a shutter button. The other one is a toggle switch for the zoom. So that's a really nice feature because obviously like a touch screen, zoom sometimes always doesn't have the same functionality as a toggle switch for a zoom. So we have buttons for zoom, for shutter, and also for the on-off switch. And that's basically it. But when you're shooting in the app, you also have shutter on the app, and you also have touch shutter, touch to focus. You can also zoom within the app. So it's pretty cool. When you're shooting, you can shoot independently. Let's connect it. Let's connect it and I'll show you. That's the best way, right? Long, awkward pauses. Sorry. So right now I'm connecting it. Um, and basically it's thinking and I turned it on and it's thinking and within a few seconds, I don't think it'll embarrass me, but within a few seconds, it's gonna connect here. And there we go, voila. So now we're connected. Um, so there's a few ways you can shoot. You can shoot connected to your phone or connected to a device. And when you're connected, you can shoot by pressing the physical button that's on the lens itself. You can shoot by tapping the screen on your tablet or your phone or device. You can shoot by pressing the button, the shutter button within the app on your screen. Let's look at Naomi. So you can press the shutter button within the app. You can press the screen. And we just took a picture of her. But what I also think is kind of interesting and unique and definitely kind of fun is that you can shoot independent of your phone and without a screen. So you can basically shoot like blind. So that might be a really fun like weekend experiment to just disconnect from your phone and disconnect from the app. And yeah, you still have a physical button here, so you could just turn this off and start shooting. So yeah, let's get back into some questions because I got sidetracked. So here's a good question. If not connected, how far can you get from your device? So I think what this person is trying to say is with the Wi-Fi. So obviously when you're connected, these two aren't making like a physical connection. They're not connected with wires. It's not like a screw mount. It's not like your SLR lens or anything. They're connecting with Wi-Fi. So that's what's really cool about this is it's really cool technology. So it's a Wi-Fi technology and it actually creates its own ad hoc Wi-Fi. So you don't have to be within an existing Wi-Fi network, as in the Wi-Fi network that's within your home. You can be anywhere. You can be in the middle of the wilderness or anywhere. So this connects with Wi-Fi, and it doesn't connect physically. But obviously they do have a limit. So they don't have to be physically connected, but they are connected somehow. So there's about, I think, 10 or 15 feet distance for the Wi-Fi max. So to answer the last viewer's question, That's the max, but it doesn't work well through walls. Um, and I think it goes without saying that you probably wouldn't want to use it through walls anyways because it's a little creepy. um, so I think I saw another one in there that was really good. Shutter lag between shots, which is a good topic because it also reminds me about like shutter lag in general. Um, so obviously these are connected wirelessly, and surprisingly, there's almost no lag at all. Obviously, with any wireless device, there is somewhat of a communication lag between the two. It's Wi-Fi, so it's not purely instant. It's a few milliseconds or nanoseconds or something. But there's not much lag in communication for live viewing, and additionally, rapid shooting. It's not that much lag for shooting, but there is a lag for transmitting files. So that's kind of what slows you down. So it's that auto transmission, which kind of takes, depending, a second or two. So there is like a sports mode that you can put it in. So if you want to do that, it'll fire off a few and then transmit files. So that's a good way if you want to shoot off a bunch. Cool. So let's see. If there's more than one person in a room with a lens, is there any problem? That's a good question too. So these communicate wirelessly, obviously, but they get paired up. So the way that these work is that in the beginning you get your camera, you open it up in much excitement and happiness, and you charge it up. And when you open the battery cover, it comes with a personalized, happy little code, and that's your Wi-Fi password. So that's the personal Wi-Fi password that goes with this camera. So when you're connecting to this camera, you're connecting to its personal Wi-Fi, and you're connecting with that Wi-Fi password. So only one like tablet or phone or device can connect to one lens camera at a time. So unless somebody has like taken your password or guessed your password, or I don't know, unless somebody is already connected to your device pre-existingly, then you'll be fine. So it's a non-issue. Um, yeah, there's no raw shooting for pro photographers. JPEGs only. New Twitter question, yay! I have a new Twitter question from Luke Chong. Is there a device indicator that lets you know when you're shooting blind? That's a good question. So there's a few LED indicators, really mainly one that you want to pay attention to, and it's on the top. When you turn this guy on, there's a green light that comes on. It's also the battery indicator, so when the battery starts getting low, it's going to turn orange. And when it's transmitting files, it's going to start blinking. And so when I take a photo, when it takes a photo, it's going to make a little like chirp for autofocus, but you guys can't hear that. So yeah, you can know. Let's see. What is the battery life like? That's a good question. So we haven't done any extensive testing yet ourselves. Sony's got some information on their website, and I think it might depend on usage, but I think generally it's like 4 to 5 hours. But yeah, it depends on usage. But it's great because it's a lot better than like your traditional point and shoot camera, just because you don't have a big viewfinder on it. Let's see. You guys are really talkative and it's so awesome. Could I demo the speed burst? Yeah, let me open up the app and see. How well does it record video? It does record video really well. Everything is in autofocus. Um, like most point and shoot cameras, you can zoom during recordings, so that's nice. Um, the audio is pretty standard. Um, it's hard to say. It's hard to say too much about video because it's so, I don't know, all video is so, it's so easy to shoot good video these days, which is awesome. So let me pull up the tools. So here's another really good question. Somebody's asking if it uses your phone's data plan. So actually it does not, at least for like the communication of transferring photos from the camera to your phone. It does not use your data plan. However, obviously, one of the nice things about having this camera is that the photos are already on your phone, and then you can edit within your favorite apps like Instagram, and upload them immediately to Facebook and social media, places like that. Um, so if you're gonna be uploading them instantly, then yes, that would use your data plan. But just regularly using the camera and snapping photos all day long is not gonna use your data plan.
Maybe show how the attachment clip
Oh yeah. So Naomi is reminding me that I should show how the attachment clips work. And also, a lot of you are asking about rapid shooting. So I'm repairing the device so I can do that. So bear with me. So the clips here, which I'm about to show you, this is kind of cool. I don't know if that helps. Cool. Well, that's a bad angle. Sorry, guys. So these clamps pull apart, and so this is to fit your phone. And so it fits pretty much, obviously, an iPhone, and it also fits a lot larger phones. So I have here, this is an HTC One, so this would probably be pretty comparable to also like a Samsung phone, which might have a larger screen. So this can fit in here, and then basically this pulls up. And so this just gives you the convenience of mounting the lens, and not really like having to like hold on to two things at once. So that's kind of nice. So this will stretch out to accommodate probably screens max up to like 5-inch wide. So that's probably like probably not as big as like a Galaxy Note, but probably other like Galaxy S4, stuff like that. Yeah, so some of you guys are discussing the Wi-Fi. And basically, the Wi-Fi, like you guys are talking about, the Wi-Fi, the The lens talks to your phone through Wi-Fi, and so basically the Wi-Fi connection is created from the camera itself. And so that's why you're not required to already be within a Wi-Fi connection. So you don't have to be at home and you don't have to be at Starbucks. You could be in the middle of the wilderness, you can be at the park, you can be anywhere because the lens itself is the device which is making its own Wi-Fi network and sending it to your phone or sending the Wi-Fi out to your tablet. So that's what the communication device is. So that's why you don't need to be in a Wi-Fi. It's going to make its own Wi-Fi. Manual focus for video. It doesn't actually have manual focus for video. So how many petals does this shutter have? That's a good question that I actually don't know the answer to. I'm sorry. But for the photographers out there who might have missed some of our earlier part of this, basically the QX10, which I'm holding now, has a 3.3 max aperture, and the QX100, which we also carry, has a 1.8 max aperture. Whoa. So yeah, that kind of gives you the idea. So let's see what other questions we have. Can more than one person from Twitter, AK Butler asks, can more than one person connect the lens at once? So unfortunately, no. It's only one connection at a time. However, you can disconnect from one device and connect to a different device. Additionally, if you've shot images on the lens camera independently, or if you've shot images on the lens camera while connected to a different device and you now want to transfer them to a new connected device, you can do that. So that's kind of cool. So you could be out in the morning and be shooting with your iPhone, and then your iPhone dies. So you shoot with your iPad or something, or you do studio work with your iPad, and then you transfer it to your computer later. Whatever, the possibilities are endless, but yeah, you can't connect to multiple devices at the same time, so you can't do that. Is there a timer feature for selfies? Good question. There is a timer feature? There is. There's two different settings for the timer. Where is the timer, Naomi?
I don't know where the timer is.
It must be in the app then. It's in the app. So there is a self timer. So you can do selfies, which is actually really great for selfies. As you can imagine, it's really cool for photo booth capabilities as well. You actually have a tripod mount directly on the lens camera. So as you can imagine, you could set this up as a photo booth and then have a really big screen or phone or tablet or something right next to it, so people can trigger it and see and check their smiles and make sure they look good. All right there.
Marcus says the app has timer settings.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yes, so it does have its own battery. Like I was saying, it has, so on the rear here, on the rear cap is where it has the clips. If you give it a half twist, it comes apart, and that reveals where the battery cover is. And so inside you have a Sony lithium battery. And so you could buy spare batteries if you wanted to, if you're one of those shooters who likes to carry around a spare battery with you and keep it charged up. You can totally do that. It comes with the USB cable, so you can just plug it into your computer, charge it by USB. That's pretty rad. This is also where your Wi-Fi password is going to be. But yeah, this is pretty cool because this like half twist mounting system is what Sony is going to use to make cases for their cell phones. So we'll see. Wait, oh cool, you guys are sharing the weight with each other. This is so awesome. Friends talking to friends. Yeah, this thing is like really light, super portable. Obviously, the reason people shoot with their phone the most is that their phone is the thing that's always with them. Um, and the reason this thing is better than your phone is because it has better zoom and a better sensor. Um, and the reason that these two are awesome together is because you're getting the best of both. Um, so it's pretty amazing, and it's the best of both because it's not your DSLR. It's not this like heavy thing. It's not really an extra thing to lug around. It really is like pretty convenient. It's really small. It's a unique form factor. It has a lot of different uses, and it's really convenient to just throw in your bag and take with you, probably everywhere. I could see myself taking it everywhere. Cool. So let's see. Naomi, do we have anything else? A waterproof case yet? Not that I know of.
But if there is, we'll be the first to find it.
Yeah, you know we're gonna be the first to have it though. You know we will be. Let's see. So I think we've got sample photos coming to our product page. If there's not some already there, they're coming really soon. I know you guys are asking for sample photos, so that's definitely coming. I know some of the photographer people have asked for depth of field, some bokeh examples, so we'll definitely get you those. Let's see. Let's see. So somebody asked about Bluetooth. That's a good question too. So it does not connect via Bluetooth, but something I didn't mention previously was that this also does connect with NFC, which is pretty cool. So a lot of new Android phones have NFC technology. So if you have like a super new, really rad phone, it can connect with NFC. And that's nice because it's actually like really fast, a lot faster than Wi-Fi. So you're going to get the files transferred a lot faster, and you're going to be able to shoot a lot faster. So that's cool. When will they ship? That's a good question too. So we're taking pre-orders now. We hope to start shipping them on the 30th, but as of now, we don't want to set ourselves up for any disappointment, because we really love all of you guys and we love our fans, and the last thing we want to do is make anybody really sad, especially when it comes to beautiful new camera toys, right? So I think for now, our expectation is to start shipping them this week, but we're not specifically sure if that means it's necessarily going to be Monday or just early in the week. So I understand that's very vague for some of you, and probably maybe a little unsatisfying. So I apologize. But if you have if that is a very unsatisfying answer and you're looking for a better one, I would definitely encourage you to email us. So the best way to get in contact with us is either emailing us directly, shop@photojojo, so that's SHOP at photojojo.com. Twitter, so you could tweet at us, Facebook, we're on a Facebook wall, any of those. Can you set your own settings? That's a really good question too. Yay. So with the QX10, you have kind of limited settings. The QX10 is mainly automatic, but you do have actually the option of doing an exposure compensation. So it's not an actual like manual exposure control, but you can tell the camera to make the exposure lighter or darker. So that's done in app. On the QX100, however, that's when things get really cool because you do actually have manual controls. You have control over aperture, shutter speed, things like that. So that's really the photographer's camera. The biggest difference between the X10 and I shouldn't call it the X10, the QX10 and the QX100. That's also a very good question, and you guys are full of them today. So the biggest difference for me, I think, besides the manual controls and the optics, there's so many differences. The QX100 has manual controls, so I think any photographer will find that like very important. The optics, the QX100 has much better optics. The aperture is much wider. A 1.8 aperture is definitely much more desirable for low light shooting and just better portraits. A variety of things. But also it's a Zeiss lens, so anybody who's familiar with that will understand that that's very nice luxury. But additionally, the sensor is huge. So any photographer will understand that a big sensor not only means big, clean, beautiful looking files, but also really, really strong, good low light shooting. So to give you an idea of the sensor size of the QX100, it's actually a 1-inch sensor, and that's actually four times bigger than an iPhone. So yeah, chew on that for a minute. 4 times your iPhone. That's the reason to buy the QX100. Cool. What else do we have? So somebody reposted a question, does it do long exposure times for interesting nighttime photos? I haven't actually tested that myself, but I can only assume that it does. The QX10, like I mentioned, it's mostly automated, so you are fairly limited. The nighttime shooting is pretty good, but on the QX100 you have a lot of manual controls. So on the QX100 you should be able to set it up on a long exposure, like no problem. Noise at higher ISOs. From what I've seen so far, it looks good, but I don't know. I guess I'm not the one and only true source. So I don't know. I don't want you to take me as the only opinion out there. But from what I've seen, and if you want to believe me, it looks good. Yes, let's take some more Twitter questions. Naomi's feeding me some, and then I think in a few more minutes we're gonna wrap up. Um, yeah, just because I'm running dry, but also because yes, all your questions are wonderful, and yes, we don't have time to get to them all, so we're gonna have to wrap up eventually, right? um, so, does it come with a case? That's also a good question. Many good questions today. No, it actually doesn't come with a case. So, it does come with a USB charger. It comes with a battery. It comes with a little like wrist strap like this. But I imagine the beauty of that is then you get to pick your own case, right? And you could probably find a multitude of little cute little things that this could fit in. Um, can I show on the phone how stable it is? Yeah, let's put it on the phone. Let's put it on the phone. Yay, I'm so glad so many of you guys came today. This is so awesome. This could only be better if all of you were here in real life and actually touching this camera, like real show and tell. Cool. So anybody who wasn't here before, um, this is kind of the greeting screen. So I basically I turned on the camera and I picked up this mount piece here and I stretched it out so it would hook around my phone. And then I pulled up the Play Memories app, and then I'm greeted with this screen. Since I've already connected the device once, I've been told that it's found the device, so I just click and it's connecting. And within a few seconds, it should hopefully only take a few seconds. Is Is there image stabilization on the QX100? I don't know off the top of my head, but I think my partner can find out for me. Paul? How much will these cost? That's on our website, but the QX10, which is the one that's in my hand, and the one that, oh, live screen. um, the QX10 is 250 and the QX100 is 500. Um, and Naomi's looking up. Naomi's looking up the answer. Ah, Stephanie came in with an answer. Yes, Jane, we are recording.
Yes, it's called optimal steady shot is the image stabilization.
Yes, Paul. So Naomi pulled an answer for us, and it comes with stabilization, and it's called optimal steady shot. So it's there, and it sounds super fancy. um, cool. So somebody was curious about how steady it was on my device. So I just paired it up with the Android phone here, and I actually mounted it on with kind of the built-in clamp, which I showed off earlier. And now I'm actually holding on to only my phone. I'm not holding on to the lens at all, and I'm gonna kind of shake it. So I'm actually not really scared of the camera falling or anything. So I don't know. Personally, I would say it's pretty steady. The HTC that's here has a slightly like curved back, so it's not super completely flat. If you take something like an iPhone, you can get like a really good fit. It gets really flush on there and really tight. Oh, Dana, I'm so sorry to bum you out, but I'm not going to be doing a demo of the QX100 today. I'm so sorry. No, I haven't taken any macro shots yet, but I totally should do that for you guys. Naomi, would you want to give me a hand super fast? So Naomi is going to be my helper. And do you want to hold the phone for them, or do you want to try shooting the dyno?
I'll hold the phone.
So there's going to be a delay, but kind of hold it near that. I'm going to kind of hold it near this guy.
Get some dino action shots.
I think I need to tap the screen. It's so hard. Yeah, if you can lean over and tap. Oh, sorry guys. Technical difficulties. I got too close. It's kind of... Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to come this way, and you're going to hold it that way. And we're going to do this thing. You hold it here. Oh, that's why I was zoomed in, you guys. I'm serious. Now hold it up closer to the screen. Do you think they can see it? Oh my god. I'm so embarrassed, you guys. I got a phone call. It happens. You guys, you know it happens.
You're so popular, Amy.
You know you wish it happened to you, right?
Okay, I think we're back in action. We're very popular here at Photo Jojo.
Yeah, this is how we roll.
Lots of friends.
Macro shot. Well, that's some of it. I don't wanna bore you guys with a bad example. Thank you, Naomi. Yay! We should all clap and cheer Naomi. I'm also gonna pull up a sample photo that I shot this morning because I think it's pretty good. Yeah, the macro the macro live demo wasn't super impressive. Sorry, guys. So that's kind of something I shot this morning. That's pretty macro. That was with this actual lens. Here's something I shot also this morning. The macro is pretty alright. It's nice, especially the added convenience for me is the the tap to focus within the app, because I think like having the shutter button on the physical camera is nice and all, but like it doesn't work so well like when you're shooting macro. Um, when you're shooting macro, obviously it's so much better to actually like tap where you want to focus, because usually you have such a narrow place that you're trying to hit. So yeah, like in that situation with the leaf, it was kind of neat too, because I was shooting yeah, like any macro, I was in a really tight space, so I was shooting a leaf that was like behind or near a fence. So I had the phone like in my hand, and I had the lens on, and the lens was like back in, it was like back behind the fence, and then I was tapping to focus on my phone and shooting, and just taking like firing off a bunch and hoping that one was in focus. Um, so it actually worked surprisingly well. Um, cool. Yeah. Somebody mentioned B&H. Yeah, we're definitely doing our best to ship on Monday if we can. Like with anything, like I said, we're really pushing hard to ship on Monday. But on the other hand, like it's one of those things where we don't want to over promise and leave a bunch of people like hanging. So we're pushing really, 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 really hard to ship on Monday. But we just really can't make that final leap of like promising everybody that it will definitely, absolutely be Monday. Um, so we're hoping for Monday, but it'll definitely start early next week. If you're curious for a more definite answer, definitely reach out to us more personally via email, tweet, whatever, and we'll get you a better, more definitive answer. Or especially if you already have a back order or a pre-order placed with us, and you're curious about when it'll actually ship, just give us a holler. Um, so yay, thanks everybody for coming out today. It's just about 10 now, so this is probably a good opportunity to wrap it up. Um, and you guys have all been like super awesome, and there's been like so many more people here than I anticipated, so many more good questions than I ever could have imagined. A lot of engagement, and hopefully we'll do a bunch more of these and have a million more fun demo live amazing fun photo jojo parties with all of you guys. So we really love you. Keep in touch, send us lots of love notes, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.